Hello, today we're back at the range. Today I'm doing this beautiful Colt 1911. This is a civilian model made in 1954. Now when I got this, and I'll include photos, this whole front strap was chiseled and had a bunch of notches in it. I don't know what they were trying to do, but I took them off. Even if they were for competition, they didn't look very good, so I got rid of it. The mainspring, the mainspring was all out of whack. Had to adjust that. The disconnect was all out of whack. Had to take it apart completely, put it back together, clean it up. Front sight, you might notice, looks a little off. Didn't have a front sight. I sanded one out from a Sawzall blade. Temporary for now, until I can get a real one. But I need the tool for that, which I don't have. Factory Colt magazines. We're shooting Cellar and Bellet 45, 230 grain. Let me get set up and we'll do some shooting. Magazine full of Cellar Bellet 230 grain target ammo. Take the mag, let the slide fall on itself. So this front sight isn't doing much for me. I'm trying to figure out where it aims. So we're going to go down, see where I hit, and make my Kentucky windage from there. Figure out where this thing's hitting. Very smooth, packs a punch. Everything functions well. Before, when I bought this, it had hammer follow, which means the mainspring is out of tune. So I worked on that. I'm not getting any hammer follow. Picked this guy up relatively cheap. See where I hit. So this target was already being used for 22. Pretty easy to distinguish the 45. So I had that front sight pretty high up, aiming at dead center. We're at either, I want to believe this is 25 yards. So this is where they're hitting low left, which means typically anticipating recoil, which I'm not doing. So that would mean that I need to make that front sight much higher and go off to the right a little bit with the sight. So I'm going to aim for this target next, this bottom left target. You can see here I got a couple shots that are already on there, down here. So we're going to remember this. So we're going to do some more trials and errors, see what we can come up with. Failure to eject. Another failure to eject. Another failure to eject. I have a different spring follower in here. I'm not sure if that's causing this issue. Let's do a couple rapid, see if it changes anything. Getting a bunch of failure to eject. Gun could be over lubricated. Could be the magazine. There's a guy whistling in the background. That being said, let's try a different magazine. Let's throw 3 in here. Not the magazine. Just to rule it out, let's try the third magazine. Alright, so we had all three magazines start with a failure to eject. Could be the ammo, could be the mag, could be the over lubrication of the gun. I'm going to take out some of the lubrication, see if that makes a difference. We'll be back. First, let's see what we did at the target. Well, looks like we're all over the place. Mostly to the right. Still low. So we're going to try and get the gun issue resolved. There's a gunshot in between everything I say. Oh, not that time. And go from there. But we're still hitting low. Let's say that this is the front. This is the rear sight. This is the front sight. I'm aiming like this. Where it should be here. Like that. I'm aiming like this. So let me try this a little bit. Something like this maybe. More to the middle, but really high. That sight that I created needs some adjustment, but we'll get it. I think we have an over lubrication issue. I'm going to take the 1911 apart, real time, wipe down some of the lubricant, and see if we still have that failure to eject. Gun's clear, no mag. Spring and retainer. We're going to come back, find the notch, push it out, pull it out, come right off the front of the gun. This pulls off, father comes out. Push your barrel loop here forward. Retainer. Barrel comes out. Got the slide. So I'm going to wipe some of this lubricant off. Very dirty. Doing some shooting here, get that lubricant out of there. Wipe the frame down. Get some of that off there. You would think that lubrication was really good for your gun. It is. Too much is never a good thing. All right. So we got that wiped down. Try and get in there, wipe some of that out. Now let's put her back together. Barrel goes in. Same thing in reverse, put that retainer on. Put the spring through. You don't have to do it this way, but I do it this way. Put this on here. Make sure that channel lines up. Get that a little proud. Make sure that that loop is up. Where the Slide it back on the frame. Now we're through the loop. And shouldn't be off. Go in there, put this cap on. Well, first you got to do this. Then you put the cap on. All right. Let's come back and see if this fixed the failure to eject. All right, we had our failure to eject. Let's start off with 3 rounds. Pretty well. So, as you can see, the gun was over lubricated. We had failure to eject. We took some of that lubricant off, and we're back to shooting. So let's continue on. So we haven't been doing too well with the bottom left target. I'm going to move on to the top left target and try and get this thing hitting where it should be. It's going to take some time, but let's get to it. Let's start off by loading up 7. Failure to eject. All right, I tried going off the bench. To get some more stability. We had 1 failure to eject. Hopefully that was a dud. Let's come down, see what we got going on. Still wildly low. I'm going to put some more towards this target, and I think we're going to call it a day because it's getting a little bit annoying. All right. So for this one, I think I'm going to try to pretend that the front sight isn't even there. It doesn't seem to be doing much for me. It might be too large. And throwing off my shot. With that little failure to feed thing going on there, doesn't make me feel too good. got this leftover different ammo here. From my last session, Federal. I'm going to see if this makes any of a change to this problem. Also, my proportions are blown out because I have you in wide angle. Oh, so it's not the ammo, it's the gun. So, it looks like I'm going to end it here. I'm going to finish off these rounds, see where we did, and take this thing apart and give it a good cleaning. Failure to eject, the name of the series. They've added this here where you gotta walk a quarter mile in order to make the range safe. And we're safe now. From here I could see that I didn't really hit anything. But let's get up close. Still wildly low. Well, let's end it here. I got some new parts coming in, and we'll make a part 2 of this video, see if any of the new parts help this failure to eject, and then we're going to try again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we have a better result next time. Well, as an added bonus, I thought maybe while I'm here, I'll shoot a couple bowling pins. So, God willing, with my failure to feed, perhaps this thing can at least hit something at this range. Alright guys, so what you see is basically what happened. I had a failure to eject problem halfway through shooting. The other problem I had was the sight didn't do too well. It wasn't getting me on target the way I'd hoped. I was shooting very low. No matter how high I aimed, it seemed like I would shoot low. That could be a me problem, that could be a gun problem. 1911s are a little bit finicky when it comes to how they hit the target. There's many different times that I've been shooting other 1911s and they hit left, they hit right, you think it's the gun. But what it is practice. At the end of the day, if you're not out here practicing, you're never going to be a better shooter. It can be expensive to get to the range all the time, but your ammo is going to deteriorate. You got to shoot it. You got to practice. If you're looking to do any kind of competition, you really need to get out here and make sure your guns are running and make sure that you pick an ammo that works well for your gun. That being said, a lot of the times people will buy the average shooter or the casual shooter will buy a gun and they will depend their life on it. And I'm not a big fan of that. You need to get it out here and you need to shoot it if you're going to depend your life on anything. And I have guns from the 80s, even older, some from the 40s. And I would take that gun over the modern gun. But it's different schools of thought. You know, a lot of people, oh, I need the latest barrel, I need the latest part, this and that. Until you become a proficient shooter, don't
invest in these parts. Make sure that you know how the gun runs. I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, but you got to get out there and shoot. On another note, you got to find what caliber suits you. If you're a smaller statured person, 45 is not going to be your best choice. Nothing wrong with a 9mm. An MP that I trained with one time, he told me a word of advice that was pretty good. He said, your heart can't tell the difference between a 45 and a 9. If you're hitting the target where it's supposed to be hit, you're going to be able to defend yourself. You're going to be a good shooter, and you're going to get out of the situation hopefully unscathed. But things happen. There's variables. And overall, if you're not going to get out here and shoot, don't even carry your gun. You need to practice. What I'm trying to do is make a series documenting different things, not just shooting, but blacksmithing. I make knives. It's one of my passions, and I'm trying to get back into it big time. So you're going to see videos on that on the channel. Different things about survival, being in the outdoors, fishing even. The focus will be more of sportsman topics and blacksmithing mixed in. Winter's coming, and I mainly do my blacksmithing in the winter because my shop is outside. I'm trying to give you a more realistic, down-to-earth series of videos of things you could be doing. If you're out here, you don't know what to do with yourself, these are the things I do. You can copy me, or you can come up with your own things, but I'm just giving you an example. Political. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to enjoy my liberties as an American and enjoy the surroundings that God has given to me. So I hope to see you guys in the future. Thanks for watching my video. Any suggestions, anything you want to see, comment below. And until then, I'll be back with a part 2 once some of my new parts come in. I want to get this 1911 running before we move on to the next weapon that I want to do a video series on. Again, you can check out my previous video. Hopefully I can obtain some viewers and have some fun showing you some of these historic weapons and knife making. Have a great day.